Alright guys, so welcome back to Home on the Hitch. My name is Thomas, glad to see you here. Today we're going to be talking about the 3P Propride hitch. I've got several other videos on this, so make sure you check those out. Specifically after the last one, I got some requests for some information and some footage of the hitch backing it up. Was it any different? Was it hard? Etc., etc. So we're going to get some footage of that today, as well as I had a few requests for just like the complete back-end unhitch procedure. So we'll do that and go over that and see if we can answer any of those questions for anyone who's thinking about this hitch. So stay tuned, Home on the Hitch. All right guys, so we're headed over to get this filming done, but real quick before we do it, take a moment. If this is your first time here, look around a bit and go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there and the notification bell, ring that ding, so you don't miss anything. Love you all guys. Let's get into this video. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to hook this thing up, and all I'm going to really do is I'm going to back up and we'll set the cameras up, back up, do the hitch up, drive around our storage lot here, and then when I come back around, I'm gonna just go at an angle and back in to our storage space like I'm backing it at an angle to a campsite. So and then we'll unhitch and go from there. So let's get this done. Let me get set up. Hopefully that's still recording. All right. What I've done is I backed up to this area right here, just to kind of line everything up to get an idea. So I'm gonna elevate the jack to try to get the hitch head as close as I can. Off to the side here, and that looks like it's going to be pretty close, so we'll leave it right there. I can tell that I'm not 100% in line right here, but almost. So all I'm going to do is when I start to back up is turn the wheels just a hair, and that should line up just perfect there. One thing I always recommend people do is either grease or keep some type of dry lubricant spray on these parts here. It makes everything so much easier. You don't have to do it every time, but just every once in a while, and it's going to make things a whole lot easier. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get in and back up and see if we're lined up right. All right, so hopping in, put it in reverse. Now I'm gonna cut the wheels just a hair to try and bring that stinger in line. That should be good. Watching in and it should have seated. So put everything in park, put the emergency brake on. And that looks wonderful. So we'll do at that point is I'll attach the safety chains on either side. All right, attach them to a shackle. So now you have these cam over latches that are right here. You want to adjust them so there's just a little tension. You take this breaker bar and socket that comes with the set, and that's how it locks into the hitch. I have managed to drive off from the house because I've cleaned everything out of my toolbox, and there's two clevis pins that go here and here that prevent these from coming undone when you're towing. But I've cleaned out my toolbox, so I don't have those. So this is the breakaway cable I'm just going to stick it in there like that since we're not actually towing on the highway, but that'll keep the hitch from coming undone if it were going to come undone. Normally you have a clevis pin that goes here and here to keep that in place. Going to hook up our cable for brakes and lights. And at this point, we're going to treat it just like any other weight distributing hitch. We're going to elevate this up to take some of the weight off of the bars. The beauty behind this setup is, if you watch my other videos, it has jacks that stay permanently mounted. So you can use your cordless drill to crank those up really fast. I walk around the truck. A lot of people try to reach over or will step over the hitch. I don't do that because it doesn't take but one time to catch your foot or a shoelace. You may have a bad day. Really bad day if you're 5,000 miles from home. So I've got marks on these bars on the weight distribution jacks, so I know exactly where they need to go for our camper. So at this point, I can lower this down. And that's pretty much the hitching up procedure for the Propride 3P hitch. There's, like I've said in other videos, there's a very short learning curve. But once you figure the little nuances out, it's the best thing ever. Also, we use these blocks that we got in Tampa, the dock and stow blocks. And we use these for the first time exclusively on our last trip through Texas. And man, it really was a time saver, back saver, because they just hitch right onto the frame and you don't have to worry about stacking up blocks. All right, so we're hitched up. So I'm just going to leave the camera where it's at. We're going to get in, we're going to drive around the parking lot, and then we'll get out and I'll take the camera and show you kind of what angle we get to compared to the parking space, and then we'll kind of try to back in, and hopefully you'll get an idea for how this thing acts when you're backing it up. I'm going to take a quick walk around just to make sure I don't have anything, the chocks aren't in the way. And I'm just going to leave the camera rolling so it's kind of uncut, hopefully from this point on, so you can get an idea for, you know, real time how long it takes to unhitch and all that kind of stuff. Let's move this jack out of the way. Got a cone there, we'll move that out of the way. All right, let's get in the truck. Take a little spin around the parking lot. People in the office are probably wondering what in the heck I'm doing. All right, here we go. So, probably it may be a little bumpy with this being a gravel lot. I don't know how the footage is actually going to turn out, to be honest with you. Because the gimbal and everything is mounted onto my tailgate. All right, so What we'll do is let's see. I have a whole lot of space, but what I'm going to do, I want to pull at an angle here. Okay, that should do it. Real quick. Just so you guys can see, hopefully. Let me take it off like this. God, I hope this stuff isn't super bumpy. This is where we're at. All right. I'm at about a 45, actually probably a little steeper than a 45. We're gonna back into this spot right here. All right, so there's the camper. Hopefully you guys can get an idea for what we're doing. There's the camper. There's the parking spot. So, all right, let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't make a fool out of myself backing in. But we're just gonna let it roll. Whatever happens, happens. All right, let's see if we can get back up here. All right, hopefully it's not, I really hope this is not the bounciest, like, horrible footage. All right, let's back up. Pull these mirrors out so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Let's adjust the mirrors. Okie doke. Good, bad, or early. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna cut it pretty hard so you guys get an idea what it looks like. I'm probably gonna have to adjust a couple of times because I'm not gonna have enough room to make that turn, I don't think. But that is pretty cut. All right, so I'm gonna pull up some more. I didn't have enough room really to make that turn. Without hitting the trailer next to me. There we go. That, in the interest of making a YouTube video, here we go. All right, now I got a bead on it. Back this up at an angle. Not really the 100% best example, but an example nonetheless. Now we can back it up straight into the spot like we would. And I'm going to pull up and readjust. So kind of cramped quarters for backing in. Actually, maybe that was a good example if the footage turns out. Now we can back it up, straighten it in. And here we go. Let's get out and look and see. And now, we'll unhook again. And we're backed in, so it's a tight little area. But hopefully that footage will give you an idea of what the hitch does when you back up. It doesn't cause any extra difficulties really. Not that I've actually noticed. All right, so we're gonna unhitch now, which we'll use these docking stow, like I said beforehand. And we'll let this jack down. I'm just gonna let the video run. You can fast forward the next few seconds if you want to, but I'm just gonna let the whole thing run. Hopefully it's one file. And just like any other weight distribution hitch, you're gonna jack it up a little bit to take the weight back up off of the bars. Tie my shoelace before we end up with another problem. Oh, I gotta grab. And that way, take your drill. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Loosen the jacks down. So just like any other weight distribution hitch, after you've taken the weight off of those bars and you've technically unhooked them, you have to bring it back down. Or in this case, for this hitch, you have to bring it back down back into a non-stressed position because if you have this lifted up, way up, it's got pressure inside that hitch box and you'll never get it unhooked. So unhook that, take out your clevis pins, and we'll see. I don't know how close I am. Probably pretty close. I left the safety chains hooked up. Take the overcam latches, we'll unhook those, and if you're close or if you're right where you need to be and you've got everything like with a dry lube or some grease or something, when you pop this off, it will just separate automatically. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm still a little too high. I'm going to take some weight off and just kind of push on the truck. You can see, I don't know if you can see in the footage or not, that it's separated. So I know it's free now. So I'm going to unhook the safety chains. And we'll get back in the truck. We were a little off because I felt it bump a little bit, but We were super close. That's it. So, oh, well, that didn't work out too well. I don't think that's how that's supposed to go. So that's the whole hitch up, back into a space, unhitch procedure. So, I don't know, that's pretty easy. We love this hitch for the fact that it is what it is. It works. We don't have any sway. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Take care of each other, love each other, make every moment count. We'll see you next time, guys.